What's kicking, gamesters? My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to video games. We're going to be going back to Covenant 25, because Covenant 24 is the one that I play off camera, and we're going to go back to the Stygian Guard, Exile, continue that win streak, hopefully, here, is the plan. Double Ice Tornado, double Mind Grasp, a single Cuddle Hex. Very excited to have my secondary clan be the Awoken. Gives me a lot of ability to heal up Soul Guard, so I don't have to rely on, you know, sap in order to provide effective HP in final rounds and stuff like that. Vine Grasp, 2 copies of that in base deck, super good. Free attack, free spell rather. Early on, gonna be able to delete really important enemies with it. Later on, reorganize my team with it. At the end of turn, frozen cards are reduced to 0 cost. There's also a forgotten name here though, and we are almost certainly gonna be able to trigger that like almost every turn. However, Cuddle Hex. Apply Frozen to a random card in your hand at the end of your turn. Frozen cards reduce to 0. So basically, Cuddle Hex gives me the ability possibly to play the Ice Tornadoes for free, possibly to play Root Seeds for free, something like that. There are a couple problems here. Number one, I would have to find a way to protect the Cuddle Hex, and that's not necessarily going to be provided to me if, you know, I get a totem that I would prefer to put in the same position, because it's going to be on an incant stacking floor almost certainly, unless I'm building a secondary floor. And then the second thing is we have 5 cards in the deck that say discard a card at random. Those before the card is frozen. So I'm not saying that, you know, I wouldn't play the frozen card before them. But if you play those, they may end up just discarding the card that you can't play otherwise. And then what's in your hand at the end of your turn that's actually getting saved? I'm going to take the forgotten name for specifically that reason. Okay, Cold Channel seems like a really good idea here, just because of the relative ease of access we should have. Well, Seraph the Chased actually isn't bad for Cold Channel. Interestingly, like, Seraph the Chase, you don't really need to build a bunch of Frostbite on the Seraph the Chase. You just need your Soul Guard to be well positioned by the time the Seraph comes up, right? Although, what? There is a problem with Seraph the Chase, isn't there? There is. And that problem is that Seraph the Chase is going to burn regen, which is one of the best ways to try and keep a unit very healthy in the front line. So maybe we go Dire Channel, put that behind a tank from the, from Awoken. We're going to have a look at our upcoming banners. So there's an Awoken banner next to a Merchant of Steel and an Awoken banner next to a Herzel's Horde. So I have 2 opportunities to whiff on getting Wilting Sapwood, the Hollow that isn't Thorned, the Awoken Hollow. Gosh, is that it? That's okay. I mean, I could get a tank from Stygian, and that's still, like, possibly preferable. In fact, maybe. Yeah, actually, I probably do want a tank from Stygian if at all possible there. Taking the extra money here, happily. Go. I mean, like, Foregone Power does kill 2 things here. No, 1 thing. But so does just casting Root Seeds. So let's just cast Root Seeds then. Oh, wait! The action from Soul Guard also doesn't trigger here. Interesting. Which means the end of turn from Cuddle Hex probably isn't going to trigger here either, so I should use the Frostbite. Because of the Dazed effect. Okay, so obviously Vine Grasp for the collectors. Let's get you there. Goodbye, collector. Do I really just burn Ice Tornado here? I'm gonna have to get Frostbite on targets. I really need... Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. You don't incant? Okay. Well, we haven't got many more opportunities to get a Train Stewer, but thankfully we're almost certainly going to get one right now. Drawing 5 cards out of the rest of the deck and 2 of them being Train Stewards. It was, I don't know, it was relatively likely, I felt. Although if I don't play a trained steward right now, I'm just not getting a trained steward here in time. Okay. Just trying to get a bunch of incants on that top floor. Then as many magic ups as I can get there too. Great, and that's the win. Could have been a lot better, could have been a lot worse though. Energy Siphon, Crypt Builder, Flash Freeze. Still discarding random cards. We're drawing extra cards next turn with the Root Seeds the absolute least. If I take Flash Freeze here, I should have enough targeted damage to take out backliners. Between that and the Vine Grasp at the absolute least. See, this is exactly the thing, isn't it? Glimmer is really, really good with a Forgotten Name because the magic power increase hits both sides of it. So I think I will take it. And then I have to decide ultimately, am I going to look for an Awoken frontliner or am I going to look for a Stygian frontliner? It has to be a Stygian frontliner, doesn't it? What Awoken frontliner stands in front of the Seraph the Chaste effectively? Like, throwing a bunch of heals into a Awoken Hollow, but the Awoken Hollow works off of Rejuvenate triggers, so having the exiled starter cards for Awoken significantly hampers their ability to actually grow. I think I have to go for the Stygian unit here. I didn't necessarily actually want to in this position, but here we are, I guess. All right. Glimmer does want that upgrade. I also probably just want to go Emberstone, reduce the cost of like one of the Root Seeds, and then just re-roll. Okay. Holdover! Well, Holdover on Glimmer already gives us the ability to just like AoE clear every single time, which is great because we currently have a Soul Guard that is very good at killing one target in a frontline. So this Holdover solves our AoE problems pretty effectively. The thing is, eventually we are going to need two units that are capable of just killing a big dude. And Nameless Siren is extremely good for that. Titan Sentry is nice, don't get me wrong, but... Oh God, so there's no Stygian banner in the next area necessarily, but there is a Stygian banner down here. After Daedalus? God, so what? I have to get a tank either here or... I don't want to take it, though! I don't want it. It's extra AoE, where I already have that taken care of, and I already have to use my AoE to actually even heal this character back up. It's literally just there to be a meat shield. So if it's just there to be a meat shield, why wouldn't I take a Nameless Siren and just give it plus 25 HP? Oh, please be a unit draft. I need it. No, that's not a unit draft. That's not what I asked for. Well, what do we do now? It's the key question, right? What do we do now? I think it's just stack extra stuff on that floor. Let's Flash Freeze you, and then get even more incant triggers. Glimmer. Root Seeds, and then we'll just Glimmer and Root Seeds. Next turn, almost certainly. There we go. Glimmer. Root Seeds. Gold it. Glimmer. Root Seeds, and, Train Steward? No. Yes. Thankfully, Glimmer on that floor was enough to get us an extra hit. God, we need a tank. Nope. Already have all the use cases of those covered. Stealing Hearts is nice. Low-cost way of getting a buff that can't be taken away from me. I do just need a tank before Daedalus. We can't keep the Awoken Hollow in the deck for long. Like, we'll actually have to remove it as a thing. It's literally just being taken for this fight. It feels bad to do, but I think I have to. I also actually really want the reflecting lenses here, I think. Get myself some extra HP out of it. Oh, okay. Rare Hellhorns, Melting, or Umbra. Which of these gives us what we're looking for here? Well, Umbra possibly gives me the multi-strike on Nameless Siren. It is worth noting the Nameless Siren's going to have a little bit of a rough time against Seraph the Chaste. It's not necessarily for that either, but also if it grows fast enough, it'll be fine against Seraph the Chaste as well. Maybe I keep Awoken Hollow to protect Cuddle Hex and form like a pseudo second floor that way. I don't see it, but maybe. Let's take a Hellhorn draft pick. Just generally pretty good. Dark Deal seems generally pretty good, except for the fact that the Forgotten... Oh, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. The reason it's fine is because I have a Glimmer every single turn, so I can heal it back up really effectively. Enemy units deal damage on their death, so our build should almost certainly be Awoken Hollow with Soul Guard behind, which I think we end up setting up on the top floor. Okay. Obviously not jazzed about this, but I'll place those two there and then Dark Deal the backliner. Huh? No, I didn't. Again, we don't get the Forgotten Name there, unfortunately, due to the random discard. Oh my god. It's going to lose units on this top floor, I think. And this floor. God, we're just losing units everywhere. All right. Ice Tornado to save us a bunch of damage. An Ascending card would have been really nice. Okay, yeah, we're just going to lose the name. No, we don't lose the Nameless Siren yet. Hang on. Still keep it going. Got to keep the dream alive. Hey, now. Hey, now. Don't dream. It's over. All right. Come on. We've got to get Glimmer in this hand. Unless it's literally on the bottom of the deck, it's in this hand. Okay. Thank you, Glimmer. I was very worried it was going to be on the bottom of the deck there. I kind of want to cast it on this floor. Just get to keep my Nameless Siren. Is that necessary at all? The Nameless Siren's not going to be doing anything here. No, I think we should just focus on the top floor. All right. Dark Deal. Give him a Glimmer. So all of these turns are just trying to get the Awoken Hollow to a reasonable enough HP position to do us proud here. Come on. All right. Just pulled over the limit there. Yeah, we definitely needed to take a tank just to survive this. I don't like it at all that we had to do that, but we did. Cycle of Life, though. Hang on. Cycle of Life might solve our problem. Hang on. Incant. Triggers at the start of the unit's turn. So, if I was quick at the start of the unit's turn, would my action happen fast if I had the Wildwood Tome? Also, it's definitely Cycle of Life, right? Use that to actually buff the HP on targets that I really want buffed. No. None of them. And then probably Capacity, so that we have the ability to put Soul Guard and Nameless Siren and a Stygian tank on the same floor. Come on. quick. Incant plus armor. Okay, we can make pretty much anything into a tank. There we go. That'll be a tank. Incant plus armor 2. Let's also give you just straight up armor 2. Quick to the nameless siren seems real good to me, though. Let's pop that on there and then give a reroll. Endless. Actually, I'm going to save my money. I don't think any of those are really worth my time right now. Okay. Let's Dire Channel it up. So yeah, every spellcast on the top floor is 5 extra armor for our frontline unit, and we've left extra space in them, possibly to give them plus 25, possibly to give them extra armor. Not boss enemy units gain 6. So literally the Clipped Reflector is the only one that's actually going to manage to get attacks off. We should have repeatable enough control of backliners here. Especially if we don't just get, like, real hard draw screwed. Speaking of not getting real hard draw screwed here, look at this. Like, I want to heal you. If that heal there. So what does that heal accomplish that I just did? I'll tell you what it does. It keeps my Cuddle Hex safe next turn. Third spell. Cast on the incant floor. Perfect. Okay, so we took 22 damage to this so far. We're probably going to take some more. Nope. Actually, it does look like we have now taken all of the damage we're going to take to this. What we need now is more spell casts. Specifically, stings. Give me stings. Stings would... Like, my opponents would feel the sting, but like in a non-pleasurable kind of sense. Oh, God, there's got to be a word that it's like describes, like it'd be like a painful sensation, like a sudden and painful sensation that my opponents. There's no word for it, unfortunately. All right, get a card frozen. Ow, more damage. Gosh, I wish Cycle of Life was castable here. I really need to decrease the cost of a bunch of my stuff. Alright, then a Glimmerworth on that floor. Absolutely beautiful. 150, as well as... Guardian's Amulet would be a lot better if it wasn't for Seraph the Chaste. Ice Storm carries the magic power that we put into the Forgotten Name. Yeah, I'm actually down with that. Ensnare. Bramble Lash. Out of all of these, Ensnare seems the most reasonable. It's just another enchantry that gives us an extra draw next turn. 0 cost itself, so if I draw it in an overcosted hand, I'm still okay with it. As much as I want to remove, like, 2 foregone powers from the deck right now, as well as look for merchant upgrades, I'm gonna do it. Dang it. I was really trying to convince myself not to there. Oh my god. Multi-strike quick on the Nameless Siren. I'm also gonna give another runestone to the Guardian Named. I am so glad that I came here. Never mind. Not a single problem whatsoever. We'll take out Foregone Power and a Train Steward, actually, because the Train Stewards still really get choked on the ability to play them. And interestingly here, I very rarely do this nowadays, whereas it used to be a bread and butter for my strategy, but I'm actually going to pay for 2 early removals. Make the deck as consistent as possibly can get it right now. So the enemy center with Spell Shield 2. That's a little bad for me, but honestly, after I get enough incant triggers on that top floor, it's no longer bad for me. So, happy to take it. 2, 3, 4, and we get to keep the Ice Tornado for the next turn. God, that's a great opening hand right there. Quickly just kill that one. What do I ensnare? Maybe I ensnare the Master of Light here, but then it just gets another kill on the Awoken Hollow next turn, gets more rage. And then after that, I've got a floor of 2 extremely large men. And that could actually end up being a problem for our top floor. I'm gonna hold you back. It is exceedingly important I kill the Master of Light before they attack. There we go. Because it ends up saving our unit to do so. Then I'll lose that. Use a foregone power on this floor just to get the cool marksman down. And then I'm just going to go for more stats. Okay, I think we did it. Yeah, I was pretty sure we'd now escaped, and we have. There's the Glimmer, just to make certain. Now the Nameless Siren extremely cannot die. Not that it seemed like it was in close risk of dying previously. Well, I mean, very early on in the fight, yes, but not for a while at least. All right. 10 damage, but then I'll heal it back up. Ensnaring you does nothing except gets me an extra draw next turn and does a trigger on a floor that I don't necessarily need it. Okay, fine. Okay. 105 armor on the front liner. We've definitely found our scaling. So think about our floor right now, right? We've got a Guard of the Unnamed out in the front line that gets 7 armor every single time I incant trigger. We've got a Nameless Siren with Quick and Multi-Strike incant to gain Rage 2. We've got a decent amount of zero-cost spells, as well as ones that increase my draw for the next turns. And then we've also got a Soul Guard, which is dealing 5 damage per shard that it ends up stacking into it. It ends up stacking a pretty reasonable amount of shards, as we just saw. Oh, unfortunately, we don't get to see the battlefield again. So yeah, it had a reasonable amount of shards on the end. So effectively, the Soul Guard the Martyr becomes our boss killer in the final fight, whereas currently the Nameless Siren, up until that point, is going to be our boss killer. But the Soul Guard is going to be very effective at being a boss killer as well, so it's not going to be a huge problem. Take the money there instead, because none of those looked appealing. Adaptive Mutation would actually be like a really, really good way to save the extra stuff that we get on the Nameless Siren. Also makes it a very effective tank for Soul Guard. It actually might be worthwhile. Possibly give a permafrost to it and just see if we can get it to be a little nutty, you know? Dupe a card in the deck. There are a lot of cards in this deck that are worth duping. And definitely over Merchant of Steel. Merchant of Steel means nothing to me. Let's look at the artifact first. 50% chance to apply Daze to an enemy unit whenever it enters your train. We don't set up on the bottom floor because we need time to stack incants before we're actually effective. So I'll take a boon at the blacksmith, though I'm not really enthused about it. I easily could have just taken the HP instead there. Sorry, the money. Stygian Guard, Melting Remnant, Awoken Consumable. I'm going Awoken Consumable here for the possibility... No, we're not going to take that one. I was taking it for the possibility of picking up a... the one that adds 3 stings to your hand. That unfortunately I have forgotten the name of. I'm gonna dupe a zero-cost root seeds. Oh, the incant triggers matter a lot. Also, the extra damage. Blinding Darkshard and Shattering Darkshard? Really? You're not gonna have an incant Darkshard against me, the incant classes? Alright, on your own head, be it. We're only putting Soul Guard up here on the top floor, so it's gonna get double dazed. That's okay. I'm setting them up on this floor just so I can try and get the Absolver down early. while I'm waiting for my Glimmer to help me take down the Absolvers later. Oh my god, that's really effective against the first two waves here. I'm extremely glad that went that way. You go there, you go there. Buff. Buff. Oh, best believe I'm going to go for a buff. Here I'm going to take 3 damage, literally just for the incant. One of the great things about Vine Grasp, the ability to target on my own units. Glimmer! Glimmer for the bottom line. Exactly what I'm looking for here. Oh my gods. Shame I don't have the ability to put Cuddle Hex out as well. Yeah, I probably should, just in case. Hey, we got the adaptive musician to be frozen here. Lovely. I mean, that just gives 40 health to the Nameless Siren. I don't think I need it yet. I mean, it is frozen. It'll just stay frozen. It's not like it's going to unfreeze the end of this turn, so I can play it later. Okay. Rage him up. Heal him up. Start discarding cards. Thankfully, it didn't hit the adaptive. And you know what? That's a good enough adaptive mutation right there for me. I'm going to have a 77 by 2 with 80. You got to Glimmer that bottom liner right there. Especially prevents the Hellborn Harvest coming out. And now with all this extra health on the Nameless Siren, I don't really need to worry about hitting you with the Rage. It's just always fine to do. Split Anvil would work really well in this deck. Split Anvil would be a good time. Would it be a necessary time? Probably not. Good time nonetheless, though. Okay. Almost in full cast there. I might have lost. All right. Oh, working Railsmaker really good here. I'm probably going to have to go energy as a result of that. I mean, there are a lot of other things that did want me to go energy already, but that makes it a lot easier to justify, I think, is what I want to say there. Double removal is really important. We also have a bunch of money for a merchant. Possibility of... Brewery's Cloak is probably not that relevant for us. Neither is the Tempered Talisman. Lightstone Casing? It's a bit late in the game for me to... Lightstone Casing without a plan for something that I specifically want upgraded 3 times, so reroll. I mean, draw an extra card every turn. At the absolute least. Unfortunately, we whiffed on the Incant Seal there. We also whiffed on the Split Anvil. There are a lot of things there that could have been significantly better for us. So I'm going to take both of these Train Stewards out of the deck now. Get our final Dark Forge upgrade from Hef here for Diet Channel 3. Alright. Back out into the field. Start battle, enemy units appear on each floor. That is okay. I may end up taking some damage to the Pyro as a result of this, but I would prefer the 400 for the possibility of fishing for the Incant Seal I was talking about prior. That Purifier does make me nervous. I do have a Flash Freeze for it, but I don't have much. It's just enough to keep you alive this turn as well. God, I need spells! Spells and heals, please! Okay. Prevent 5 damage by killing 1. So now there's 15 incoming. I get 7 for every spell cast. Actually, I'm fine. As long as I do cast every spell. Unfortunately, we don't get the Collector, but this seems like a significantly better result for us. Living? I don't know. I am a little caught up on this whole living thing. I'm a big fan. It's not for everyone. But it is going to be the thing that I'm going to play towards here. Those self-mutilations are not great. But I think I need to dig. Because those self-mutilations aren't great, but also I don't really have the ability to do too much on this floor yet, so I need to solve that problem. Ow, ow. It's the purifiers. They're giving me the business. Okay, so we finally have... Oh, God. Oh, there's so many purifiers down there. We finally have the Glimmer at the absolute least. There's a Dark Deal for some extra damage. We're still not doing anything that Gilded Wing in the back line, which is really, really making me nervous. Okay, now we're doing some damage to them. Good. That's 15 damage I'm going to take to this, and then 10 to the Gilded Wing, possibly. I can't put this many self-mutilations back in the deck. So if I Root Seeds here, we get 6 extra damage, right? Because you're hitting you, then you're hitting you. So actually, it's just Soul Guard, right? 17 by 7. So that's 70, 49, 149. That's 149 being dealt to the back line with the Soul Guard. Hang on, that's not what's happening, though. You're taking 129. So wait. The Nameless is attacking 2 times here. Kills both of them. Then the Guard of the Unnamed gets attacked by the Gilded Wing, who takes 3 damage. And then we respond 126? Oh, yes. That makes more sense now. Right? So yeah, it'd just be 7 or 9 extra damage with this. Are we 18 short on this? Hang on. 1 extra, and then it's 23. So no, it's double self-mutilation we burn here. Oh, good lord. We have 1 HP. Just 1. I'm so scared. I'm just gonna draw a hand with way too many self-mutilations. Wait, okay, no, we only have 2 left in the deck. I have the ability to burn 2 left in the deck. That's okay. Oh, God. Unless I drew it without the ability to play it at the end there. That would have been really cruel. Oh! My health! My beautiful, beautiful health! I don't need any of these at all. Preserve Thorns. Needed it for ages. Ah, perfect. Okay, Unstable is on the same side as the Pyro Remains. Very, very happy to see that. At the end of turn, apply Frozen to a random card in hand. I mean, that does feel a lot better than having to put down something to do it for me. It's a Split Anvil. That Thorn Casing is not good here. It affects so few cards. Oh. That's good. Let's take Magic Power to Ice Storm, and then... So, cost reduction should work on the basis of what? I've got an X cost, I've got a 3 cost, and I've got a 3 cost. I've got a single 2 cost in the deck. So the single 2 cost in the deck is only castable once as well. So what I really want to do here is decrease the cost of 2 of the 2 costs, because I don't want to have to spend that much energy exclusively on doing those, just in case I have other things that I want to burn out of my hand and such. So we'll do that, we'll reroll, then we'll take the cost of 1 of the Ice Tornadoes down as well. Excluding 2 cards from the deck here, it's almost certainly 2 foregone powers. Almost everything else is better than them right now. Alright, Seraph the Chase. Whew. It's going to be a lot worse. Could have ended up being so much worse than it is. And then we freeze this in the hand at the end of the turn as well. Oh my god. Love it. Okay, you took away some of my stacks there. How dare you. We've got Glimmer every single turn, so we don't need to worry about, like, pre-glimmering other lines. I'll throw in Snare here, though. And then a Flash Freeze. This is literally about just trying to get as many casts out as possible. Awoken Hollow is a bottom floor play because we actually do want to do die. Alright. And then we get Guard of the Unnamed, throw out a Glimmer. That should have been the Ice Tornado and then make everything else cost less. But it doesn't really matter if I cast the Ice Tornado, so I'm kind of okay with this. Again, doesn't make what I played correct. Just means it doesn't necessarily have as drastic a negative impact as it otherwise could. Okay, let's play our 0 costs out. I'm always going to end up playing Glimmer here. I have 8 cards in hand, so... But I want this to hit 4 cards. That would be trust that this isn't going to discard the Rail Spike or Glimmer. Glimmer is too important to play this turn, right? I have to play Glimmer, literally, otherwise I die. All right, we'll play Glimmer, then Sting, and then I'm going to go for the draw. Great. Ice Tornado, buff, buff. Snare you. Honestly, I think that's big enough. All right. There's some rage back. Yeah. We won this combat last fight when we were able to deal with those purifiers, or not deal with those purifiers, but survived not dealing with those purifiers. We effectively were facing the end boss because this is way simpler for us. Significantly. Extremely. Right. And again. I'll throw that on you, despite the fact that it's not going to matter at all. Okay, just keep buffing you. Really like that I have the Root Seed, so I don't have to rely exclusively on the plus 66 that we get from the Rage here. Because that's definitely not something that would end up being reliable here. All right, final wave. We go Ice Tornado for the cost reduction, Glimmer. Tornado again, throw just everything we have at every enemy. Nice. Extremely pleased with how this one went. Let's pull you out front just in case. Not that I think it'll be relevant at all because we're just instantly killing 2 of you at the start. The Nameless Siren got exactly the 2 buffs that I would have chosen for a Nameless Siren as well, so it's just delightful. Note, a lot of my build here came out of deciding, okay, hang on, what tanks do I have that will have the ability to stand in front of the Seraph the Chased at the final. So I was making decisions from the very first ring exclusively for this combat. Because I make a point of that not as like, oh, look at the thing I did. It's more, if instead I went, oh, I need a unit out front, I'll pick up this unit, and then picked up an Awoken Hollow and didn't consider, hey, the Root Seeds don't have 2 Rejuvenate triggers on them. Also, you're not going to be able to stack regen against Seraph the Chased. Also, if I wasn't considering all of those things from the very start of the fight, I easily would have just come here and lost extremely. But because I knew what I needed, and I knew how those could be provided in the classes that I was playing, then I had the ability to develop towards that. Now, not necessarily all of the time you're going to be able to hit what you want. Like, I said that it's possible that I was going to end up with 5 capacity on the top floor, just a buffed up Nameless Siren using probably at that point either 25 health or the incant to live, and then a Lodestone Totem, right? To sap all of my enemies. This could have been accomplished in any number of ways, but I gave myself the opportunity to accomplish it in these kinds of ways by going to the Stygian banners at the right time, by making sure that I had units that would allow me to live so that I had the ability to get to those. What I'm saying is I'm very proud of this run because it is not making, or it specifically avoided a lot of pitfalls that I've otherwise fallen into in other runs. I think it kind of serves as a demonstration of the ability to break those kinds of patterns as you go up to Covenant 25. I don't know if there's any better way to say it other than a lot of my C25 runs recently have been wins. Rather than the odd one of them being a win, it is now kind of closer to the rule, which makes me feel a lot more comfortable. All right, let's have a look at the run summary here. Pretty much everything I could have needed, right? Got the unnamed with the double incant on it. Perfect. Nameless Siren really, really helped out there. Glimmer was, as it turns out, essential. Very, very glad that I picked up that up early. Didn't get to use too much of the Refracting Lens, but I will note, if we didn't take it, we would have died. The Adaptive Mutation did give us a couple health points. And we did go down to 1 at one point. So for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train Friends and Foes. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all of my content of the game, past, present, and future, and hopefully we'll see you next time.